we are going to can some not green beans, we got wax yellow beans, dragon tongue beans, and green beans, bush and Kentucky Wonderful beans. And
we're going to be canning them.
We're going to be canning them. Just showing you the process. I'm not water bathing, I'm pressure canning, but I have this to put Berkey water in to have good filtered water to pour over the beans. I have to boil it, get this boiling. I'm going to put, the jars have been cleaned, but I'm going to throw them in the oven and sanitize them instead of putting hot water in the jars until you pack them. I'm just going to sanitize them in the oven, so then the jars are already warm. They just need to be warm before you put before I put in the salt in each jar and then the cut green beans. For pints, it'll be half a teaspoon of pickling salt. Make sure you use canning and pickling salt, because if you don't and use regular iodized salt, you'll have a cloudy tinge to your jars. Have to boil, get 3 quarts of boiling water and put it in here to then put after the jars are packed, and then place them in there. I am cutting and prepping the beans here. I have some grasshopper damage. I'm trying to cut off some of them and salvage some. I've got everything set up over here. I'm gonna soak the beans here, put them in here, rinse them with Berkey water to get them ready. I have water here that I can actually start boiling probably. I will pour 3 quarts of this. This is a 2-quart thing. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons vinegar in here and end up measuring the 2 quarts full and adding another quart to have 3 quarts water for canning. Make sure you put this in the bottom, whatever, I don't even remember what it's called. Like water bath canning and you don't have something like that, people usually just fold flour sack towel to put on the bottom to prevent the glass from cracking. So I got the tray. I'm going to put my jars that I've washed with soap and water in the oven at 180 for 15 to 20 minutes to sanitize them, and then the jars are warm, and as soon as they come out I will throw in a half teaspoon of canning salt, not regular salt will make it cloudy. You do 1 teaspoon for quarts, and this is pints, so you do half teaspoon. And then this is ready to put the lids in. The lids are over there that have been washed to sterilize, boil the lids, and the leftover water in here. That'll be boiling. I will pour in here after putting the vinegar water in here. We'll get to it. And then pour hot boiling water after I pack these. And you want, for beans, you want 1 inch headspace. So that would be, the water would go up to there, okay? For tomatoes and fruits and jam and stuff, you do about a ½ inch, usually a ½ inch headspace. And now I will get back to cutting beans, and we will see you in a little bit. Now I'm taking fresh Berkey filtered water, and rinsing it off.
We have the wax beans, the green beans, and the dragon tongue beans, which we haven't cut yet. Over here, we've got some water boiling.
We got the lids boiling and sterilized. I can take them out and put them over there. So Berkey water is in there being boiled. You have to put 3 quarts. I put a couple tablespoons of vinegar in here because we have, even with filtering it with Berkey water, we live on a farm and we have hard water out here, and so it prevents any build up on the jars, right? So I'm going to take this as carefully as possible. Or this glass pitcher here is 2 quarts. Pour boiling water in here. Need 1 more quart. Typically you don't, that's all you need. Even if you double stack stuff, you only need 3 quarts. Sometimes I may add a little more. To make sure I have enough water, I'm going to add some more Berkey water. This is the first time. This was the maiden voyage of the new dehydrator. So that's the water I'm going to, when it's boiling, pour over the green beans, or I should say wax beans. Right now, grab my warm jars. So, I have a half teaspoon here. We put a half teaspoon in each jar. So salt in there, half teaspoon. We'll throw our beans in there. Because you want a 1/2 inch headspace, so if they're not all going to fit in there.
Yeah. See you when we have all the jars
all
filled.
the jars full, and then we'll pour the water in on them.
Okay, so update, we are filling all the jars. Mommy's putting some green there now, and while she's doing that, I've been cutting the dragon tongue beans. Got all that cut.
Okay.
Pouring the boiling water in there.
Pour over, and then wipe the rims, seal it. We're good.
Yep.
Oh, that one has a little too much in there. I'll have to take a teaspoon and take it off.
So the next step
is to push down and make sure you get all the air bubbles out.
And that they're
along the side.
And that they have a 1-inch headspace.
Yeah. Very clean, damp cloth to go around and clean every single edge. Make sure we don't get any bacteria in there.
Next. No.
And the lids that have been sanitized and cleaned.
Put them on.
I don't remember. And then the water, the hot water that was in there. And then we put the lid on, and 10 to 12 pounds per pressure. Or yeah, 11 to 12 pounds of pressure for 20 minutes. For quarts,
yeah.
For quarts, it's 25 minutes. And then after you're done canning them, you remove the lids and you store them only with these on. Okay, Caitlin, my camera gal went to bed, so I am just showing you after we put the 12 jars in here. We double stack them because this is a larger canner. You can double stack, and when you double stack, you alternate, like you don't put the jar directly on top of another jar. You kind of stagger it and kind of place it in between on two. Beeper just went off. 10 minutes since the steam started coming out. And have this. It's popped up, which means it's locked. We put this on carefully. We'll watch the pressure come up when we want to get to 11 to 12 pounds per pressure. And then once it reaches the 12 pounds per pressure, then we set the timer for 20 minutes. Process, I'd say overall it probably takes, takes 45 minutes or an hour from start to finish, because then you have to, at the end when it's done, you have to let it cool off and have the pressure go down naturally, so before you can take the lid off, and have it go, turn the temp down once it gets high enough if I need to. If it goes too high, then all I need to do is release a little pressure. Okay, quick update. After the 20 minutes went off, turn the stove off and remove it from the burner. It's been sitting here now about 10 minutes. You do not remove the pressure gauger thing. So turn burner off, transfer to the next burner, and wait until the pressure gauge shows 0. Then you can remove this. If you don't do that, you can have jars crack or other issues. So, yep. Anyways, it's time for bed. I will do the second batch tomorrow.